In this video, you are going to learn how to build an iOS app using Dreamflow, and you're going to learn how to take it from your computer all the way to the App Store. We're going to build an app that uses AI to track how much protein someone is eating. Let me show you what it looks like on my phone. We're going to click Analyze Meal. I added the protein. I was able to get it off the Dreamflow platform and onto my own phone. Thank you so much to Dreamflow for sponsoring this video. This is something that a lot of people ask me about, and I'm really excited to show you how it works. Let's jump in. So here we are in the dashboard, and we're going to start a new project from a prompt. The prompt is that I want to build a protein tracking app. The user will take a photo of their food, and we'll use OpenAI to analyze the photo and decide how much protein was eaten. So we're going to go ahead and send off this prompt. And here Dreamflow is making a plan for our app. So we can see even here on the left side, if we look, it's planning the architecture, it's adding the dependencies for camera access, OpenAI API, everything that we need to build our actual app. And now is starting to build the initial files for our app. Here we are in the actual editor, and I'm going to walk you through first what you need to know about the Dreamflow editor. So in the middle, we have the actual app running, which is really nice, so we can play around with it. And we're going to get into that a little bit more in a minute and add more features. On the left side, you can go to the Design tab. We have our Assets tab. You can connect to Supabase, which we're going to do later, to add a real backend and authentication to our app. And you can also do Firebase if you prefer that. On the right side, we have our agent, so we can ask the agent to build more features for us. Here's some suggested next steps, but we can also go back to the conversation, and you can see this was all of the code that it built based off that initial prompt. And then we can add more features as well. You can choose either auto, or you can select Sonnet 4.5, GPT-5, or GPT-5 codecs. So these are the current options of the models. And you can also upload an image as well, which is really nice. You can click this button to automatically add a screenshot of your app to the chat. So that's just a really nice feature that Dreamflow has built in. On the top left, we have our widget mode, and here you can actually click and go into the individual widgets on the page, which is a nice feature to have. You can also see the actual code, and you can even edit the code yourself if that's something that you want to do. In this video, we're going to be using the AI agent, but this is an option for you. Another really nice feature is this inspect mode. So if we turn on inspect mode, you can click on elements, and then here in the properties tab, which you can turn on with this button here on the right side, you can go ahead and change the text directly. Or you can also change the font and everything directly in the editor here of the properties. So if you want to make changes without having to ask the AI agent to do it, there's ways to do that as well here in Dreamflow. So I'll turn off inspect mode, and let's test out what was created so far. So if we click add meal, and we got an error when I uploaded a photo. So why don't we go ahead and take a picture of that using the picture button and say, I tried uploading a photo and got this error. Dreamflow successfully debugged the issue, and now I can upload an image of steak. If I click Analyze Meal, let's see what happens. I haven't connected my OpenAI API key or anything yet. I can't imagine it's going to work. Let's see what happens. So it actually did work. I just looked it up, and Dreamflow actually does include OpenAI credits that just work against your Dreamflow tokens. So you can build an app with AI functionality without having to add your own API key. And then you can add your own API key later so that it doesn't go against your Dreamflow tokens. So this is really great, especially for building MVPs or initial apps. So you don't have to worry about the OpenAI API key setup. So this worked. It shows that we have 50 grams of protein for today's meal, and that actually worked, which is really cool. That all worked. Then if we go into our history, we can see this week, we can see our profile. We can update a goal of what we want for our protein of the day. And that's it right now. So very simple MVP, but there's some more features we want to add. We want to make sure we have a backend. So we're going to connect to Supabase. We want people to be able to log into the app so everyone can have their own instance of this app. So I can use it, my friend can use it, other people can use it as well. Just click Supabase on the left side, and I am going to authorize Dreamflow to connect it to my Supabase account. And then we're going to connect it to an actual Supabase project. Just click Create Project. So it's going to create a new project for me. And it looks like Dreamflow is handling this really smoothly. This is something that I've seen other app builders not necessarily handle perfectly. You have to go into Supabase, create it, come back. So let's see if it's able to do it all on its own. Okay, so it looks like it created the project on its own. And now I'm going to go ahead and click Generate Client Code. So this Supabase client code, and let it do this for us as well. And we can see here on the right side that Dreamflow is generating the tables for our database. And then in a minute, we'll actually deploy those to Supabase so we can add those tables into Supabase. You can see there is a login, but we need to deploy the migration file. So I'm going to click that button. And then finally, the last step, we can generate sample data for our database, and it's generating sample data for us now. So then if I go into Supabase and I'm in the app NutraSite that was created, we can see there's a users table. It created a few example users, and there's some example data that it put into the database. But what I want to see now is if I can create my own account and sign up. So let's go ahead and click sign up. Okay, so here we are logged in, and we can see it says, hello, Seth. I can go to my profile. My email is there, which is awesome. I can change my goal. Let's say I want to make it 200 grams and update it. And then let's check Supabase real quick. And if we go into our users, we can see Seth@nocode.mva is now in our table for users. So that's awesome. We've added user authentication already in our app, and we have a fully functional app, which is awesome. So the next thing I want to do is I would like to use my own OpenAI key, especially because I want to prepare this to actually be in the App Store. So why don't I go ahead and ask the agent how to do this? So let's say if I want to add my own OpenAI key, how do I do this to prepare for adding to the iOS store? All right, so it's giving me a suggestion to create a Supabase Edge function, and that is exactly what I was thinking, actually. So let's go ahead and let's do the Supabase Edge function and set it all up. So Supabase created a file here, analyze food image. So I'm just going to go ahead, and it wants me to copy this and then paste this into Supabase. So we're just going to go ahead here under the Edge functions, create a new function in the web view, make sure it has the correct function name, analyze food image, which is what was given to me by Dreamflow. And then we're going to click deploy function. Okay, so now it says the function is hopefully deployed and verify JWT with legacy secret. I believe we do want that turned on. I'll let you know if we need to turn that off, but right now I think we need that turned on. And then if you go to secrets, we can see we have our OpenAI API key, and I added that to our Edge functions. So by having that means we are going to then be able to run our generation, our analyze food image through our Supabase Edge function. So let's actually test this out and see if it works. And let's click Analyze Meal, and hopefully it works, and the Edge function is all operational. Okay, we did get an error, failed to insert, so let me go ahead and take a quick screenshot. So I'm just saying I deployed the Edge function, and I got this error when analyzing a meal and asking the AI to help us resolve it. And Dreamflow does a really good job of creating to-do lists for every task you give it. And it also does a really good job of searching through all of our existing code to make sure that it has the right context. That's something that I've been really impressed with so far in this build out with Dreamflow. So let's see if it works this time after the debugging. And it worked perfectly this time. I'm really impressed with how high quality the AI seems to be building out this app. And when there is an error, it's fixed it in one try every time. So far, I'm really impressed with how well it's been able to do that. So we added that. Let's say we want to add one other meal that we had. So I added this meal, this image of scrambled eggs, and it's just going to analyze it. And here we go. Scrambled eggs with cheese, 12 grams of protein. Okay, cool that it was able to do that. So these are today's meals, and we're getting pretty close to being able to actually put this into the App Store. I want to add some onboarding. So I'm just going to say for new users to the app, let's add onboarding, 3 screens that they click through to learn about what the app does, which should show before the user logs in. So now let's log out and test to see if it actually worked. And let's refresh the app because I think, yeah, perfect. So it had me on the login page because we just logged out, but we didn't start from scratch. So here we are, snap your meal. Next. AI estimates protein and track progress daily, get started, and then that pushes us here. So really cool, very basic. We can obviously improve that onboarding, but it's nice that it was able to add that functionality so quickly. We're going to talk now about how to get your app into the Apple App Store. Dreamflow makes this as easy as possible, and I'm going to talk through the steps that you need to take to make this happen. So the first thing that you need is to create an Apple developer account. And then you need to pay $99 a year, or it's $99 to access the Apple developer platform. So then you'll have the ability to publish apps. So that's the first thing that you need to do. Then Dreamflow has this documentation for Apple App Store deployment to give you step-by-step instructions of how to actually set it up. So there's a few different things that you need to get. There's something called a bundle identifier. They give you step-by-step instructions on how to add a new app within the App Store developer platform, how to get the App Store ID, all of the specific things that you need to do. And then in the top right of Dreamflow, there's a publish button. You go to iOS, and then you just enter in all of this information that you would have gotten by following these instructions. So I'm not going to go step by step through this since Dreamflow documents it really well. But once you have all of this set up, you can then submit your build to the App Store. Then once it's in the App Store platform, you can submit it for review to the App Store team to actually review it and then go live on the App Store. There's also basically a checklist of things that the App Store is going to ask you to do, such as making sure that you have the terms of service, privacy policy, making sure that you're following all the guidelines of the App Store. And then once that is passed, it's going to be available on the App Store. Now, there's something else called TestFlight, which you can see right here. Now, this is basically a way to test your app on your own device without actually having it set up through the App Store live. TestFlight is a way for you to test it, but it's not going through the same approval process. That's something that I actually set up on my own app on my phone, and I tested it, and it actually works on my own phone through TestFlight. So here, for example, you can see I'm in App Store Connect. I have my app ProteinIQ. That's what I called it. And then in TestFlight, I see that it is here in TestFlight, and I've tested it on my own phone. And then here in Dreamflow, if you click publish, you can also deploy it live to the web. There's iOS, which I just showed you, and then there's Android as well. So you can publish to the Google Play Store. And there's documentation that Dreamflow has as well to follow the step-by-step instructions to publish to the Google Play Store. So all of these are available for you to do through Dreamflow. This is one of, I think, the coolest parts of Dreamflow is getting your app off the computer and onto your actual device. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Click the link in the description to go to Dreamflow, build your own apps, and get your own apps onto the App Store. Leave a comment below if you have any questions at all. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get even more content just like this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.